Oklahoma, Penn State, Georgetown, Texas, Michigan, Wisconsin, Columbia, Penn, Indiana, Dartmouth, Cornell, Princeton, Buffalo, and Yale.
So let's see if this bunches up early on, as it so often does. And we'll try to point out who's running our opening legs here for every team. Right now for Oregon in the yellow kit, that is Daniel Wynn. He was an All-American this year in the mile.
And it's out pretty slow.
Yep, and
there it
you
goes.
can already tell that it's
35 seconds through the 200.
Yeah, and
there we go.
and that's probably already spells the end to our hope for a sub-16. Unfortunately, this is the way this always goes. But still, yeah, I mean, it's going to make for a cracking race when we get through into the later legs and onto the anchor. But Wynn leading this group right now. I think he was 6th in the indoor mile a month ago in Fayetteville, but the first lap's going to be pretty slow.
Actually, that might not have been 35 because they start farther back.
So it was, I mean, but still, it
that.
was like a 63. So nothing fantastic early on. So lining it up, it is Oregon, then Georgetown, Columbia. Believe that's the team from Buffalo there in 4th. That is Sam McKenty on the outside of Villanova trying to move up. He's in 4th. Texas right there.
You can see they're really stepping on each other's heels.
Yeah, it's
give you
slow.
a sense of the pace.
So Wynn is led for our first lap and a half. So he's doing all the work, but nobody really wanting to pass him right now. It's too early, and this heat so often run in a tactical manner, and kind of the tradition of the Penn Relays 4xMile seems to be playing out here in 2015. So Sam McKenty, a guy we didn't see in the indoor season, he's back out here, has a year of eligibility on the outdoor track, and he is in your 3rd position right next to Georgetown, trailing Wynn. And this will be our 800-meter split, and it's slow, folks. 2:08, 2:07 on the clock.
It's not exactly the 800-meter split because they do start
they
farther
started
back
back.
because of the 4xMile.
Okay, so 2:05. Yeah, you're right. About 2:05, so it's still on 4:10-mile pace. But Wynn, let's see if this pace can kind of ramp up. No one has made a move past Wynn at this point, letting Oregon do a lot of the work, which I'm kind of surprised. You know, and Gordon, something to note. Oh, there's Stanford moving up. Okay, so that's Stanford moving in position.
And it's Texas now taking the lead. Texas trying to push this pace, understanding it's pedestrian, trying to make spread out this field.
So Texas taking it up front. Is that Turnbull? Brady Turnbull maybe with the early lead right now as they're going to head to their final lap. So Texas Longhorns leading right now. Wynn in 2nd, Stanford there in 3rd. We still got our teams from Villanova and Georgetown right there. So 1 to go.
They are all bunched up there. Texas with a surprise lead.
We're gonna have an exciting finish to this first leg as it's been so slow.
How long can they hold on to this for? There's Wynn, Stanford, and McKenty. Georgetown up in the mix. Wisconsin, we already spoken about, hanging on to the back of that tail.
There goes Stanford. Important to note that all of our favorites are still there. And there goes McKenty to the front. McKenty with 200 to go for the first exchange. That's Sam McKenty of Villanova. Let's see who he passes off to. It looks like, just glancing across the track, that appears to be Rob Denal. So he's a sub-4 miler. And Oregon now in 2nd with Daniel Wynn. They're going to pass off to John Gregoric.
And the time is actually not that bad. We got about a 4:02.
Wow.
So they close pretty hard. So this is looking good. 4:02 there.
4:02 through 1,600 meters. So yeah, just a little bit outside, about 4:03, right, for a full mile. But that's Denault now leading for Villanova, and a surprise team in 3rd. That's Cornell. So an Ivy League school up in the front, mixing it up. Gregoric, another indoor mile All-American. He's in 2nd in perfect position. And then rocking the shades from Stanford, that's Eric Olson. He's in excellent position. He's a fantastic 3K runner on the indoor team, and he's been so great on their DMR for several years. And then behind them we have Georgetown. So all the favorites, I would have to say minus Cornell. Cornell kind of overachieving right now.
So Georgetown staying up there in the mix. Looks like they are going all in. We in their preview, we didn't know if they were going to run some of their top milers, but they're looking good so far, sticking up there with the top 4.
So that was near a 59 second lap.
Yeah, so they're
moving.
keeping it honest.
Yeah.
Denault trying to keep that pace. He's the Canadian running a 3:58.
Let's go. This group is settling in, though, this lap, so as so often happens after a first lap, you get excited. This lap may slow down. We could see a tactical lap here. But these five starting to break away. I see behind them in about 7th position, Tommy Awad of Penn trying to move up. He's their best miler. But right now it's Denault. And then Gregoric of Oregon, we have a Cornell athlete. Behind him it's Eric Olson. And then it's Georgetown.
Tommy Awad of Penn is in no man's land trying to make his way up to that front pack. He won the Olympic Development Mile last year, a bunch of professionals. So he's trying to catch up to them.
All right. So we will have, let's see, this will be our 800-meter split for these gentlemen, and they're going to be near it.
We'll get it right where these people are. They're about 6:03, 6:04.
So that was about a 62 or 3 last lap. So a little bit of a slowdown. Nothing too slow. This is possible, folks, as we're getting to the middle portions of this race.
And Tommy Awad has now joined this front group. He ran 3:40 at the Larry Ellis Invite just a week ago.
He has done a lot of work to catch up with this front five. So Tommy Awad delighting the home crowd here. He's got a freshly shaven face, which we don't see often out of him. Eric Olson of Stanford now to the front. Gregoric pursuing him.
And they're starting to pick it up here.
Yeah, they're starting to move as they have just a lap and a half left to go in their leg.
Next leg looks like for Oregon is going to be Gohegan, so they're going to put Cheserek on that anchor. Woo! And they are moving here as Olson trying to keep that pace going. Gregoric going with Denault in the mix, Georgetown, Cornell, and Penn sitting in the back of that pack.
So 1 to go for this group. Then we'll be on to our third leg.
About 7:05 there.
So about a 60, mid 61 maybe on that lap. So there goes Gregoric to the front. He's going to start to move. And really this group's done well to keep this pace honest. Sub 16, as we mentioned, is not out of the question yet. Denault, our early leader in the second leg, is hanging tough. Olson looks like he's going back just a little bit. And Cornell, though, can't talk enough about them. They are hanging tough right there. Cornell, I believe they are the big red, just really surprising up front as we got 200 meters till our next exchange.
Olson trying to fall off a bit. Denault sitting right on Gregoric right there.
Let's see if anyone kicks to their next leg. Oregon will have Gohegan.
And Denault makes his move.
Woo!
Cornell going with. Cornell. Wow, Cornell, the upset city alert right here. Cornell sticking it to these top teams as they come through. We'll get a split here. And they are about 8:03.
Wow.
8:03.
Wow, this is no way this is going to happen.
8:03, man. Ooh, this is going to be close. Can they keep that pace going?
So that's Pat Tiernan now leading for Villanova. And then we have Will Gohegan. And then our surprise team, Cornell in third. Stanford trying to catch up, try to get an idea of who their runner is. I think that's Jack Keelan for Stanford there in fourth. And then behind them, Georgetown and Penn. But we got a front three trying. Oh, it looks like they're starting to slow down. I was getting excited. Looks like this group's slowing down.
We'll see what they do when they come through. Again, the
Yeah.
staggers are a little off because of the four, but everyone's running a mile. So when you do the relay, you actually have to start a bunch of meters back from that start line. So splits aren't really at the start-finish line. So the 200-meter split's really hard to keep track of. And we'll see what they got when we come through, see where Tiernan's taking this team through.
Oh, I think it's going to be pretty
We'll look at that orange cone.
pedestrian.
About mid in that orange cone. They came in about 8:03, and they are about a 62 there.
All right, so yeah, slow down. And Georgetown and Penn have caught back up.
And they are packing up.
Yeah.
Gohegan's not going to make a mini move.
Yeah.
Tiernan.
Which why would you when you have Cheserek on the anchor? If if these guys sub 16 may not be an important thing for them, that might just be something we hyped. They're not really interested in it, and so this is a slowdown. And Tiernan leading up front, really a solid 5,000 meter runner. He ran 13:31 as a freshman. He was top 10 in the cross country as a freshman. He was a bit banged up this year. He was only 19th, and then he took the indoor season off, or at least up until Big East Championships. Looks like he's back fit now, and he's leading this group, but it is a big slowdown. They don't want to go too slow. They don't want to let anybody else catch up. I know it's about a 50-meter gap back to our second group, but you can't slow down too much because that group, that second pack, is doing a lot of work to try to get back up on that train.
And Gohegan has noticed that's a bit slow for what Tiernan's doing right now, and he now takes the lead. taking charge here.
So we'll have a second. This lap may be just a little bit faster, but not too much.
And they come through about 10:08, so we're falling off pace a bit.
So Gohegan, then Tiernan, Jack Keelan, our Cornell team, Georgetown, and Penn. So everyone eagerly anticipating the transition to the anchor. Sub 16 is looking more and more doubtful as this pace slows up. But Gohegan looks like he's trying to make a move a little bit.
Yeah, and Stanford and Tiernan are going with Georgetown trying to move up. Penn starting to fall back. Cornell starting to fall back a bit. Could Jack Keelan stick on the stars of Tiernan and Gohegan? Because they're definitely picking it up.
Yeah, and Gohegan and Tiernan have separated. This could be a decisive move here. The pace really picking up second by second. Tiernan looks good hanging on. Let's see if Gohegan just has an entirely other gear here, because they'll have one lap to go before they hand off to the anchor.
And looking at the anchors, we got Ches for Oregon, Jordy Williams coming back from Villanova, and it looks like Sean McGorty for Stanford.
So a big break has been made. Oregon and Villanova, those were the teams that we pointed to as favorites in this 4x-mile, and they are staying true to that right now. Gohegan's running a solid leg, Tiernan hanging tough, Stanford falling off with Jack Keelan. The rest of our squads up front have dramatically fallen off. Our two favorites are going, and so too is Will Gohegan. He's got about a 5-meter gap. Tiernan trying to respond. So about 200 meters for Gohegan before he hands off to Edward Cheserek. Tiernan will hand off to Jordy Williams. They duked it out yesterday in the DMR. We're going to see another battle here over a mile. Jordy Williams versus Edward Cheserek for a Penn Relays wheel.
So 11:53 on the clock. 11:55 now, and Tiernan
moving up,
not getting dropped. We now watch the 12-minute mark. Let's see what we need to run.
How tactical? Oh, it's going to be a jog fest.
It's going to be a jog fest.
It's going to be an absolute jog fest.
Yeah, they got it about 12:04 there, and this might help McGorty. McGorty knows that this is going to be a jog fest. Ches is looking back. He does not want to lead. And Jordy is thinking about what happened yesterday for 4 laps right now to see if he can have a chance for redemption. And just like that, everyone is in the race.
Yeah, and you can actually hear the Penn Relays crowd starting to boo. We had a feeling this would happen, but man,
That's
slowdown.
what Cheserek does.
Yeah, and that's his factor. I mean, we've talked about that in the past. So at 33, I mean, it was remarkable seeing over the first 5 meters. You could tell they immediately threw on the brakes. So it looks like it's picking up a little bit as they keep going. But that first 200, so slow.
Ches doing Stanford and Georgetown a huge favor, along with Cornell, getting them back into this race. And we got pretty much a repeat of what we got here. Georgetown fell off in that DMR, so they didn't really have a shot yesterday. But now they have a shot here in this 4x-mile going up against Ches, Williams, and McGorty.
So it's about a 65 on the clock, maybe 66. They got this tick a little bit ahead, but yeah.
Ches is like really stopping. They're like, literally, no one wants to go. They are stopping on the track. They are stopping on the track.
Well, I've never seen this before.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? They are not running. They are running.
There's Belay.
Yeah, thank you. Look at the crowd.
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. What is going on?
I've never seen that before. They almost started walking.
They literally started walking.
I have never seen that. That is just an extreme version of tactical running. That was ridiculous.
Ches so badly didn't want to run this race. He literally almost stopped on the track, and everyone stopped with him.
I mean, the crowd, the boos, you can probably pick them up from our microphones alone. I mean, the crowd really hating how tactical this is. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
To literally stop almost mid-race because no one wanted to lead.
And the rest of the field, they're going to run a 4:20 mile.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's really slow down.
It's happening again.
Look at this group.
It's happening again.
This group now, all the race catching up to them.
Everyone's going to get back into this race because of what's happening.
This is insanity.
They are recognizing they literally are stopping on the track, and everyone is back in the race. Cornell is now in the lead. What is going on?
They're going to be 10 teams with this in this race with 1 lap to go.
Everyone is back in the race, ladies and gentlemen.
What? Watch out.
This is crazy. That's Brandon Daugherty now of Oklahoma going to the lead, and literally everyone's in this race.
One thing to watch out for is this is so tactical. A fall could happen. Everybody really biding their time. This one's not going to get fast until the final 200 meters.
What was the point of running a 4xMile? They should have just ran a 200-meter race based on what's happening right here.
Yeah. That is just unbelievable. I still can't believe my eyes. Now it's Oklahoma, Brandon Doherty up front, and we're going to have one to go. And the racing's really going to start here. You see the tall figure of Sean McGordy on the left side of your screen. He'll take the bell in third. Ches right there. You got to watch out, though. Ches kind of boxed in.
Ches is boxed in. Ches did not want to lead this. Ches caused this race to stop, and now everyone is going. Let's see what happens here.
There goes Ches. He's trying to get out.
Ches is blocked.
Watch out.
They're around Ches, and that's Wisconsin. Wisconsin goes. Wisconsin trying to make this a race. Thank you, Wisconsin.
That's
and
Joe Hardy.
moving.
That's Joe Hardy on the anchor. There goes Cheserek. 200 meters to go. Anything could happen.
McGordy cuts off Williams. Williams trying to catch Ches.
Oh, no.
Williams is looking good. Williams is sticking on him. Williams is trying to get redemption for what happened yesterday. It's Williams and Cheserek. 80 meters to go. Head to head. Williams trying to hold that Ches. Jordy Williams is your champion, ladies and gentlemen. Takes down Edward Cheserek. Villanova are your 4xMile champions. Wow.